Alright, I'm gonna walk back here. I'm gonna just talk to you guys a little bit. Let me actually turn this light on. What does this video entail? This. We're here to shoot this video right now. Sony, you have until December to comply. To tell me what's going on, to give me the information that I'm looking for. We are shooting this with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, by the way. Something, a camera that came out that is still utilized to this day with my camera gear. I still use this. But this camera, I've used this camera to shoot so much things. To shoot classes, documentaries, vlogging. I've even used this for vlogging. I've never mounted this on a gimbal though. That's my only regret. But this is one camera. This is the Sony A1 Mark II. And this Sony A1 Mark II, a very good camera. I think all you guys know that. It is just a very, very expensive camera. Now, to the expense part, right? It's about roughly $7,000, $6,900 and some change. You know what I mean? But then you got taxes and tariffs, whatever your problem is in your location, you have that in multiple locations, okay? That causes the expense to be way over $7,000. Then you can't pair it up with anything less of an awesome lens, right? You don't want to just pair it up with anything, right? At this point, you don't even want to go 2.8 aperture. You don't want to go with anything less than, you know, a 50 to 150, right? F2, you know what I'm saying? Sony, you guys have till December. Give me something new. The reason why I'm making this video, first of all, what's going on, guys, is your friend, your homie, your boy, your confidant, your consumer, Wayne Spencer. I'm here telling you guys that I am very close to selling my Sony A1 Mark II because I am thinking about switching to Canon. Canon is coming out with the C50. If you guys haven't heard about it right now, then you know you've been living under a rock. So far C50 is coming out. I have not gotten a test review on the C50. I don't know what it's like, but usually I go to trusted reviewers to gather the information that I'm looking for. So Sony has not made an updated video or announcement or even rumors. We've had rumors on the FX3 Mark II, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do all the bells and whistles. My thing with the FS3 right now is that 12 megapixel camera. I know people don't think it's a big deal, and I have probably two of the best Sony lenses right now. So and I'm not trying to boast or anything like that, but this is two of the best Sony lenses you can get right now. The 28 to 70 f2 and the f2 50 to 150. These are beasts. This is about $3,000. This is almost $4,000. We're not even talking about the camera, man. Like, that's just the lenses, all right? That's a roughly $7,000 of glass. This is another $7,000. That is a $14,000 kit. With that being said, the things that I can get for $14,000, and I'm not saying that's what the resale value is. I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to lowball me to about $5,000 for this camera, and maybe I'll get $2,000 for one lens, and then maybe $3,000 for the other lens, right? They'll try to lowball me. I'm gonna lose at least $3,000. A majority. That's the minimum. The most I'm looking to lose, right? I'm not trying to lose anything more than $3,000 for the three items. But here's my issue. Sony has not responded to the Nikon ZR, which is a great camera, but not for me. Okay, I do want something that controls heating way better than the Sony A1 Mark II. Also, A1 Mark II is great with overheating. It doesn't really overheat when you're doing 4K 60, 4K 30. But then I sometimes do want to shoot 8K, and I know that overheating is going to happen. But I do have an alternative for that. I do carry out a fan in the back. I put a fan. It's from Small Rig. It's a pretty good fan. Problem with that fan, though, is it doesn't have anything to attach on the Sony A1. If I pull out this tilty flippy screen, fan pops out. So honestly, what would have made this Sony A1 Mark II the one? I think honestly, open gate and a fan would have done the $7,000 price tag justice. But 50 megapixels, you can't like shy away from that. But then you have this A7R5, right? That A7R5 shoots 60 megapixels and pretty much goes head to head with this, right? aside from rolling shutter, aside from 10 burst shots, which 10-second burst shots, guys, you are doing really good. 30 seconds is unusable. I don't even use 30 seconds, and I start contemplating, do I even need 30 seconds? I don't shoot animals, and if I do shoot animals, you know, just be better prepared on how to shoot them. You gotta catch them at the best possible light and the best possible situation. Most times, if you're not a bird shooter or a sports shooter, which I am a sports shooter in a sense, but there is very little sports that is done at such high frame rates. Even like my kids, they do gymnastics. You guys know this about me. And their gymnastics doesn't even need to shoot 120 frames per second, right? If I want to do a slow-mo, maybe. But to shoot it as far as camera and photos wise, it doesn't need 120 frames. It doesn't need 60 frames. That's going to be something that's well beyond the time. 30 frames, right? It's well beyond the time that we need right now. So the A9 III, I love that camera, but the megapixels are too low. Open gate, I noticed how important it is when it comes to the aspect ratio. If you guys don't know what open gate is basically shooting everything. You get the 3:2 aspect ratio versus the 16:9, and that 16:9, what it does is that now I have to crop this into, and even the DJI Osmo Pocket, because it shoots at such a wide angle, I can do a short video here and be centered and not have to worry because you have face detection. So I'm literally following myself. So either way, wherever I move, I'm good. That's sort of an open gate situation, right? But even though I'm still at 16:9, but you guys will see me framed in the middle all the time. This is mainly a 16:9 shooting aspect ratio camera. With the proper lens, you can get a pushback and you can get like the 16mm, 20mm, even that 10mm lens I like so much, which I might reorder if I'm going to stick with Sony. You guys have till December, Sony, and I'm not making this an announcement to say that I want to switch to Canon, because I would love Canon to send me a unit that I can test out and see how much I would like it. But I'm thinking Sony's got something up their sleeve, and I think a lot of Sony users are waiting for that, especially FX3 owners. 7K 60 frames, open gate is insane. That's insane to me. Like, that mentally, I can't even fathom that. Man, 4K to 120, no crop. 4K 60, no crop. I think firmware updates will allow it to shoot open gate at 4K 60, and I think that would be a great addition to Canon. The fan, right? The fan is unbelievable. The full HDMI, what else? The sync, the top handle. Again, this camera is damn near perfect, and a lot of you may say, well, I'm complaining about nothing. I'm complaining about the price tag, the lenses that you kind of want to match it up with. Like, I would do myself a disservice if I get a lens that's not a G lens, a G Master at that, right, and put it on this camera. It makes no sense. If I can afford that, I can afford a lens. So for those, I'm speaking to the consumers that can afford to purchase $14 worth of camera gear and it only be 3 items of that camera gear. Not to mention the cage, not to mention the DJI mics, not to mention the tripods. I have 2 tripods that are worth $1,200 alone. You know what I mean? These things I put in a lot of money and a lot of investment in. Did I make that back yet? I don't think I have yet. If I'm close to it, it'll be like maybe halfway there we've made as far as money income goes. So it is paying for itself in a sense, but more of a long term. I've had this for about 4 months now, and I've made about half of that back. So I'm happy to say that, at least. You know, I've had photo shoots with this. I've had travel vlogs with this, where I've shot travel documentary, basically capturing where I've chosen to go. You know what I mean, as far as Brazil, Barranquilla, Colombia, Cali, you know, Salvador, Brazil. I've gotten the essence and the ambiance of it. I've taken thousands and thousands of photos with this, and this never missed unless I had user error. So this camera is already paying for itself, and it's such a great camera, but it is just one camera. I'm thinking I need to go with 2 cameras. I did have the ZVE1, and ZVE1's shooting menu doesn't have what this has. Like, right, it has your 1, 2, 3 custom buttons. ZVE1 doesn't have that. So if the ZV1 had that, I probably would still have it. But because I had to go in the menu and actually change the setting that I needed it to be, It felt like more of a manual versus an auto situation. So I decided to sell it back to the ZV-E1. I feel like if I trade this in, this is at the top of its pinnacle. No scratches, no problems with it. And if I trade this in, I can get 2 cameras. Now I was thinking of sticking with Sony, keeping my lenses, sticking with Sony, getting the A7 R5. If you guys think I should do that, let me know. But I also wanted to get the C50 when it does come out, which is in December. So I gotta wait for that before I make any rush moves on this camera. So hopefully in that time frame, Sony does announce something. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm really contemplating. Give me your judgment down below, and I'll definitely be able to comment with you back and forth and tell me why you think that. One, if you're against me selling the A1 Mark II, why? And sticking with Sony, because 28-70 and the 50-150, again, 2 of the best lenses I've ever owned. I'm never gonna get rid of those if I keep Sony. There will be no swap out unless they come out with a 1.4 aperture of the same exact variant, which I doubt they're gonna do anytime soon, right? This is about a 5-6 year setup. I kind of future-proof my setup right now. A1 Mark II just came out a year now, so there's no way that they're gonna give A1 Mark III, you know what I mean? And if they do, and it's 100 megapixels, and it does everything, open gate, all this stuff, fan, of course, we're gonna get it, of course. But I know that's not gonna happen, so anytime soon anyways. So I just kind of want to get a good grip on what I should do and what I'm thinking, because to swap out ecosystems, I know that's gonna be hell for me. We're talking about everything, man. To swap out to Canon is gonna be crazy. Canon only has the 28-70 f2. Seeing how this f2 shoots, it's a really good lens and I love it. But I could opt in to get the f2.8 24-70, right? I could do that because of the weight of their 28-70. I don't know if it would be an even trade to swap that out. And it's kind of expensive, and it's an old lens, it's an older lens, but it does work great. But then, you know, nothing's gonna replace this one. Their 70-200 does not replace this 50-150. I'm trying to think of what Canon has in order to make me want to leave and go to RF mount. And if I can probably find an adapter, maybe that's what I would do, but I don't think they make adapters for Sony to Canon, but I may be wrong. Leave in the comment section below. But that C50 is looking mighty, mighty interesting at 3800 with the top handle, with all that comes with it. No need to buy a cage. I can literally mount it to anything. Anything can be mounted to it, and I'm just trying to weigh my options. So maybe you guys can give me some good suggestions down below, and I'll stick with that. But if you can't, it's fine too. But you see, my mind is just, it's everywhere. So Sony, this is really affecting me. Canon, if you would like to send me a review unit, that'd be great. I would definitely like to take some shots with it and like do some different content with it. Run, you know, stabilization, which is not there, but I have a gimbal that's on the way, so I want to try it with the gimbal. So just putting out there like my ideas behind a different video versus, you know, the conventional video. I do want to hook it up to a drone that I'm also getting that's on the way. I won't tell you guys what that is, and see if that can handle the weight of the C50. That would be crazy if it could, all right, with the lightest setup. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. Remember to smash the like and hit the sub. I'm thinking about so much right now. I can't even end the video the right way. Have a great day.